Good evening, everyone. Hope you all had a wonderful day. I certainly did. Um, I wanted to post an interview that I did today with Wisconsin NPR Radio. Um, they're going to write an article that's going to be published this Friday, and I recorded it. I asked for permission to record it. I said, this, unfortunately, since I work, getting content out there is very important for this race for me. And so he agreed to that. The audio was terrible, though. I can't even attempt to post the audio, and that's unfortunate. But there is another issue that I can talk about today, which was brought to my attention, and I'd like to get this cleared up sooner than later. So if you read my press release, I admitted to having made some bad choices in my past. I have 3 DUIs. My last one was over 10 years ago, and have suffered the consequences of those decisions and, moved on from them personally. But obviously, I know that running for such a high-profile office that my past is going to get dragged up, and I have to be accountable for, which I am happy to do and discuss. However, there is a problem in this race where my opponents are going to use every advantage they have, including their status and reputations, to try to make things seem worse than they are. And I think that's unfair. And even worse is when the claims being made against me get into what I consider libelous behavior. And so I like to show exactly what I'm talking about here. Wisconsin right now put out a tweet June 5th talking about the primaries that are occurring across Wisconsin for Republican incumbents, lamenting the fact, and it's the same crocodile tears we've heard for a long time. We're supposed to have more deference, I suppose, to our quote-unquote leaders. And that's all fine and good. I don't mind people whining about, party politics. However, in the tweet, there is an accusation that I was charged with domestic violence. And here's I know the text is small, you can't see it, but the text says, Cegielski with 3 drunk driving cases and a read-in domestic violence charge. I'm assuming Jessica McBride wrote this. She's referring to my CCAP record. I've never been charged with domestic violence. I have never been violent towards an individual. And this is the kind of stuff that crosses the line. So I have publicly called for Wisconsin right now to retract that statement. And, they've got a good reputation. They've won their journalism awards. I think they can go online and look at the definition of libel. And if they need a refresher, here it is. Libel, a published false statement that is damaging to a person's reputation, a written defamation. The thing is, in the Twitter post, Jessica brags about her publication's reach, and she claims millions of engagements. I'll have to take her word for it. I'm sure she's not lying about that. Simply bragging, and rightfully so. Kudos to them. They do good work occasionally, but in this case, they have crossed the line. And so I do believe that a retraction and an apology is in order. If you want to see the exact, and again, I look, this is embarrassing. I've tried to approach this subject with as much grace as I can, not only for myself, but for the people involved with this. This particular case with the disorderly conduct charge. I dealt with my sister who has suffered mental health problems and drug abuse problems, and this is directly related to that. But you'll see here, So yes, there was a disorderly conduct charge that was read in and dismissed with a modifier of domestic abuse. Now this gets into the semantics. I know it's not interesting for most people, but I'm hoping to clear this up and then move on and talk about issues. I don't think people are necessarily interested in my family's dealings with mental health, although I'm happy to talk about the interface between mental health and government policies, because my family has been affected by it. Domestic abuse is not violence. My understanding of the modifier is that because this incident happened in a residential home, that it is an appropriate modifier for disorderly conduct, especially given that the incident stemmed from an argument that I had with my sister. That's all. And I don't mean to say that's all, to kind of say it doesn't matter. It certainly matters. It's on my record, and I've had to answer for it many, many times. And believe me, if I could choose to have different circumstances in my life, I certainly would. But again, I have never been charged with domestic violence, and that is a bridge too far for me to sit back and allow a large Wisconsin-based publication to claim that I have been. So I am asking for an apology and a retraction, and if they want to have me on their podcast where I can explain exactly what happened and maybe allay their fears of what it might entail or what it might mean to elect somebody like me with the record that I have, which is a part of my life story and a part of a lot of people's life stories. I've been honest with people when I go to the doors. I tell them, look, I'm no saint, and and if it gets a little bit deeper into the conversation, I will often also say that if the Republican Party was looking for saints, Mike Pence would be our Republican nominee for president. But we've got Donald Trump, and we twist ourselves into knots to justify his past behaviors, some of which are not very good. And yet we support him nevertheless because there are larger issues at stake. And in the context of the man's life, the things that we're being told are important. I think we're able to put into a proper context. And that's what I'm hoping for in this race. If you don't like me because you think I have terrible ideas, or you think I'm going to be ruinous to the Republican Party or the conservative movement, go ahead and vote for Robin Vos. Get more of the same, because it really seems to be working out for us so far. So that's all. I don't want to ramble on too much. I look forward to engaging with the media more. I was very happy to do that interview. I'm going to try to get a better recording method for future interviews, because that kind of back and forth is really fun for me. The article is probably going to have a couple of cherry-picked quotes. That's okay. That's why I do these videos, and hopefully the recorded interviews will be interesting to people. So with that, everybody, enjoy the rest of your nights. Have a wonderful day tomorrow. Until we talk again, take care. Bye.